On April 5, 2025, the U.S. Department of State made a significant announcement. It revoked all visas held by South Sudanese passport holders. This decision sent shockwaves through the South Sudanese community in the U.S. and abroad. The move effectively bars South Sudanese nationals from entering the United States. This decision, as explained by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, stems from what the U.S. considers a failure by South Sudan to cooperate on a critical issue: repatriation. The U.S. government argues that South Sudan has not been accepting the return of its citizens who have been deported from the U.S. This refusal to cooperate on deportation orders lies at the heart of the visa ban. The immediate impact of the visa revocation is far-reaching. South Sudanese individuals currently in the U.S. on valid visas now face an uncertain future. Their ability to travel, work, or even remain in the country is now in question. The situation is even more complex for those who have built lives in the U.S., established families, or are pursuing education. The visa ban is a stark reminder of the complexities of international relations and the human impact of policy decisions. For South Sudanese nationals, the situation is deeply unsettling, leaving many in a state of limbo. This decision has ignited debate and brought to the forefront the critical issues of national sovereignty, immigration policy, and the plight of individuals caught in the crosshairs of geopolitical disputes. At the core of the visa dispute lies the issue of repatriation, the process of returning individuals to their country of origin. The U.S. government, under the current administration, has made it clear that it considers a nation's willingness to accept its deported citizens a cornerstone of diplomatic relations. When a country refuses or delays the repatriation of its citizens, the U.S. views it as a direct challenge to its immigration laws and national sovereignty. The U.S. argues that its immigration policies, including deportation, are essential for national security and public safety. While the specifics of each deportation case vary, the underlying principle remains. The U.S. government asserts its right to remove individuals deemed undesirable or in violation of its laws. The expectation is clear. Countries must accept the return of their citizens when deportation orders are issued. However, the issue of repatriation is rarely straightforward. Many countries, including South Sudan, face internal challenges that complicate repatriation efforts. These can include political instability, ongoing conflict, lack of resources to reintegrate returnees, or even a reluctance to be seen as accepting the decisions of foreign governments. The current situation with South Sudan highlights the complexities of repatriation. While the U.S. asserts its right to deport, the underlying issues in South Sudan, such as internal conflict and political instability, may pose genuine challenges for the repatriation process. This clash of perspectives, with the U.S. prioritizing its immigration policies and South Sudan grappling with its internal struggles, has created a diplomatic impasse with significant consequences for South Sudanese nationals. To understand the current predicament faced by South Sudan and its citizens, it's crucial to consider the nation's turbulent recent history. South Sudan is a young nation, having gained independence from Sudan in 2011 after decades of conflict. However, the hard-won independence did not usher in an era of peace and stability. Instead, South Sudan has been plagued by internal strife, political instability, and a devastating civil war. In 2013, just 2 years after independence, South Sudan plunged into a brutal civil war. The conflict, largely fought along ethnic lines, resulted in an estimated 400,000 deaths and displaced millions more. While a peace agreement was signed in 2018, the situation remains fragile. The country continues to grapple with the legacy of the war, including widespread poverty, displacement, and a lack of basic infrastructure. Adding to the complexities, South Sudan's political landscape remains tense. Power struggles, allegations of corruption, and a lack of political unity have hampered efforts to rebuild the nation. Just recently, the first vice president, Riek Machar, was placed under house arrest, accused of inciting rebellion. These events have raised fears of a return to full-scale conflict, further destabilizing the country. The ongoing instability in South Sudan has inevitably had a ripple effect on its relations with the international community. The U.S., once a staunch supporter of South Sudan's independence, has grown increasingly critical of the country's leadership and its failure to address the root causes of its internal conflicts. The recent visa ban can be seen as a manifestation of this frustration, as the U.S. uses diplomatic pressure to try and force change in South Sudan. The recent U.S. visa ban on South Sudanese nationals has cast a long shadow on the future of those directly impacted by the decision. As it stands, the U.S. has made it clear that the visa ban will remain in effect until South Sudan demonstrates full cooperation on the repatriation of its citizens. What constitutes full cooperation remains to be seen, leaving those affected in a state of limbo. The ball is now firmly in South Sudan's court. The government must weigh its options carefully, balancing its internal challenges with the need to maintain positive relations with the international community, particularly with key allies like the United States. Whether this diplomatic impasse will lead to constructive dialogue and eventual resolution, or further escalate tensions, remains to be seen. For South Sudanese nationals in the U.S., the future is shrouded in uncertainty. Many are left grappling with the possibility of being separated from their families, losing their jobs, or having their education disrupted. The visa ban serves as a stark reminder of the precariousness of their situation and the far-reaching consequences of political decisions made on the international stage. The situation demands a nuanced and compassionate approach from both sides. While the U.S. has a right to enforce its immigration laws, it is crucial to consider the complex realities on the ground in South Sudan. Similarly, South Sudan must demonstrate a genuine commitment to addressing the concerns raised by the U.S. and other international partners. The hope is that this crisis can be a catalyst for meaningful dialogue and constructive engagement, paving the way for a future where the rights and well-being of individuals are prioritized over political maneuvering.